on WCIA 3 News.
First COVID, now a fire shuts down a restaurant in central Illinois. What's next as family and friends decide its future? No fans have been allowed in person to watch the nationally ranked Illini. We look at whether those restrictions could be changed.
And it was closing arguments in the Macon County Sheriff's recount case. But is it over?
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
It was just like so exciting to open back up, and then this happened.
Popular restaurant was destroyed weeks after it began welcoming back customers for indoor dining. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons in for Jennifer. People in Shelbyville say this is a tough loss. This fire happened late last night at Long Branch Grill. It's at the corner of East Main and Morgan Street. WCIA 3's Karina Rubio has the story.
A restaurant that served its community for nearly 2 decades is turned to ashes. Nearly 90 firefighters from 6 different departments rushed to the scene. The Shelbyville fire chief says smoke was coming out of the first and second floor when crews got there. They made their way in and found flames coming from the kitchen, a kitchen that's been like a second home for the Long Branch Grill team.
Like all the employees, we've been best friends for a really long time. It's not even really a job anymore.
It's a family, one that's been banding back together and now finally reopening their doors after COVID restrictions eased up.
A lot of emotion. It's really sad. We've, with all of the customers, we've just really had a lot of really good customers over the years. It's just really devastating.
The fire chief says the restaurant's metal ceilings caused major heat and smoke damage. The building itself is still standing, but inside it is destroyed with the rubble spilling out onto the sidewalk here. It's not just a loss for the staff, but for the community as a whole.
It's one of the, maybe the nicest sit-down restaurant in Shelbyville, so it's going to be really disappointing that we don't have like a nice steakhouse or just a place to get a really nice meal now. It's going to affect everybody around here for sure.
The Long Branch team posted to their social media page saying it's too soon to tell what's next or what will happen, but they're thankful for the loyal customers and all the support.
It was a great place for not only our local residents to come and eat, but all the visitors to the lake. We're going to try and reach out to them, and anything the city can do, we want to be able to help, just like we would with anybody in the business community, because, you know, really we are all family here in Shelbyville.
Reporting, Karina Rubio, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
The fire chief says no one was hurt. He says the fire did start in the restaurant's kitchen, but he is still determining an exact cause. Here's an update on a house fire investigation in Charleston. This happened last night on Rosewood Court. When firefighters got there, they saw smoke coming from the garage. When they went in the home, they saw the fire was spreading to the kitchen. The people who live there were able to get out. Officials believe the fire originally started in the garage. A neighbor was hurt while breaking a window.
A 19-year-old is being charged with DUI after crashing a car into Lake Paradise in Mattoon. Deputies responded after 1 a.m. After a car was found on its side and halfway underwater, dive teams searched but found no one inside. Deputies say the driver, Connor Alvis, was found later and was also ticketed for underage drinking. A man from Clinton is facing fraud charges, accused of lying to a school district about broken computer equipment. Federal prosecutors say Joshua Raymer has a plea hearing next week. Court dockets say he worked in IT for the Blue Ridge School District between 2016 and 2018 and told officials more than 100 network switches had failed. Investigators say he sold them through a personal business, cost more than $500,000 between the district and equipment vendor. Leaders at the U of I pushed back any decisions on whether to allow fans into Illini games until next month.
And that's the earliest a decision will be made. Currently, no fans or families can attend any Illinois home game. WCIA 3 Sports Director Brett Behrens joins us now with more. Brett?
And this is the decision that I think Illinois has wanted for a long time, to get families in there. They want to see them play,
Sure.
and they want fans in there. Ultimately, it's a money-making thing. It's also just about getting State Farm Center back hopping like it used to be. This will be a decision that is not made by 1 or 2 people. Athletic Director Josh Whitman, local and state health officials, and certainly campus leaders will all have a part in this. And while some universities around the state are allowing families to attend, that has not been the case at Illinois basketball games or other indoor sporting events such as volleyball. If and when that changes is tricky. There's only one scheduled men's basketball game in March and only one women's, so trying something new this late in the season could present some problems. Volleyball does have 6 home matches scheduled after March 1st. Longtime football and basketball season ticket holder Travis Deem says He's all about putting the athletes and coaches' safety first, but admits it's just not the same watching at home.
I have missed it exponentially. I mean, I feel more like the team has missed it, though. I mean, it was so hard to play in State Farm Center last year, and I think that piece of it is missing. I think giving the players just that backing in person, I think, is huge.
U of I leaders certainly want fans back, both for the team and for financial reasons, but they also want to do it safely, first and foremost. There's a better chance for families to attend outdoor spring sports with the possibility of some fans if the numbers stay low. I think about the spring football game. They could get a pretty good socially distanced crowd, I would imagine, to see that with new head coach Brett Bielema's first team scrimmage. The NCAA announced families would be able to attend the NCAA tournament in Indy next month, so there is some possibilities there. And on some road games at Indiana and at Missouri, there were some Illini fans allowed in at that and families. Yeah, and you know, some people just want to see these players in person because it could be the last time they watch them on the court. Yes, absolutely. All right, Brett, thanks.
Today, the Illinois Department of Public Health announced the first case of coronavirus variant B.1.351. It was first identified in South Africa. The CDC says someone in Rock Island has it. Illinois currently has 22 cases of the B.1.1.7 variant. That was first identified in the United Kingdom. State's positivity rate is getting lower. It's now 3.9%. There are 2,800 new cases. Another 102 people have died. Governor Pritzker says the state is setting new records in its vaccine rollout. As of midnight, more than 1.5 million vaccines had been given out. Yesterday, the governor announced the expansion of Phase 1B eligibility. It starts February 25th. That expansion includes people who have comorbidities and underlying conditions defined by the CDC. Illinois will also prioritize people with disabilities.
We have a long way to go, there's no doubt, to get everyone vaccinated, but that's something that everyone in Illinois should know, that things are really moving in a very positive direction.
The total number of COVID-19 cases in Illinois now stands at nearly 1.1 million. Almost 20,000 people have died.
It was set to be a matchup of the top two teams in the Big Ten. Illinois will not play Michigan tonight. What about the future? Also tonight.
I did it for my family and the patients that I work with.
He rolled up his sleeve and got the vaccination at which landmark in central Illinois. He got the shot.
Kevin, it is just brutal out there.
Yes,
my skin's so dry. I'm reapplying moisturizer in my hands like every hour. I'm just not loving it. Not loving February so far.
Yeah, I don't think you liked much of January or December or November.
You make it sound like I'm a complainer.
Well, no, you're just not a fan of winter.
I like spring and summer.
You like spring and summer. That's very true. All right, recap today, 21 and 12, well below average. I think most of us may agree with the statements there, but more snow and cold is on the way. We'll come back with it next.